Welcome to 2025. If your goal this year is to become more financially secure, then start your year doing the no spend January, which is when you commit to not buying non-essential items for the entire month of January. Doing a no-spend January can help you boost your savings, break mindless spending habits, pay down debt, reduce stress, simplify your life, and develop gratitude. And in this video, I spoke in great detail on how to do this challenge, but as a quick refresher, to do this challenge, you need to create 3 lists. A list of things you're allowed to buy, a list of things you're allowed to replace, and a list of things you're not allowed to buy, which are the rules of your no-spend challenge. And then starting January 1st, follow these rules, and by January 31st, you will have reset your spending habits and have some extra money saved. Starting the year with a no-spend January is a great way to get you on the path to becoming more financially secure in life. And in this video, I want to share 10 tips that can help you have a successful no-buy January and start this year off right. And the first tip is embrace the hibernation month of January. So we are now in 2025, and for many people, this last few months has been very hectic. I mean, we have had Halloween, Thanksgiving, holiday preparation, holiday parties, Christmas, and New Year's. It may be the most wonderful time of the year, but it is an exhausting time of the year also that involves spending a lot of time with people and spending a lot of money. But now the holiday season is over, and we're in what I like to call the hibernation month. We're in the month where it is too cold to go outside, and we've seen so many people that we need to charge our social batteries. It is a great excuse just to stay at home and be lazy or focus on accomplishing tasks that need your full attention. If you want to do a no-spend month, January is the perfect time to do it because we're at the time of the year where people aren't wanting to do as much and being lazy is more acceptable. So embrace the hibernation month. Don't feel bad to go in monk mode and focus on buying very little this following month because January is the easiest month, in my opinion, in the Northern Hemisphere to do a no-spend challenge. The second tip is don't forget to analyze your spending first. Again, if you want a step-by-step guide on how to do a no-spend challenge, I made this video right here. But one very important step that I mentioned in the video that people often overlook because it takes a lot of effort and time is taking the time to track and analyze your spending. Even though this step may take a while, don't forgo it because this step helps you understand how much this challenge is benefiting you. For example, if you tracked your expenses the 3 previous months and realized that you averaged $4,000 a month, and then in your no-spend January, you spent only $2,500 a month, you know this challenge has helped you save an extra $1,500. And because you tracked your pre and post no-buy challenge spending, you can then go back and analyze how you were able to cut out that much from your budget. And then in future months when you're not doing this challenge, you can implement some of these ways to save money, which can lower your budget. Whereas if you don't analyze your spending, you don't really come to any conclusions at the end of the challenge. 3, stock up on things first. So as I said earlier, when you do this challenge, you need to create 3 lists. What you're allowed to buy, what you're allowed to replace, and what you're not allowed to buy, which are the rules to your no-spend challenge. But the truth is, if you're only going to do this for a month, the month of January, you can cut out the list of things that you're allowed to replace simply by stocking up on things beforehand. Before doing this challenge, simply make sure that you have a long enough supply to last you a month so you don't need to replace many of these things. For example, have a month's supply of toilet paper, a month's supply of shampoo, soap, cleaning supplies, clothes, and other things. This can make your challenge a lot easier because then you only have 2 lists. What you're allowed to buy and what you're not allowed to buy. Your needs and your wants. And although we are in January, if you just do one trip to the store and stock up on all these things that you are allowed to replace so you don't need to replace them, it will make the no spend challenge a lot easier because then you can only focus on your needs. 4, see the benefits of deprivation. So many people might hear the concept of a no-spend January and think,
I'm not doing that. That's deprivation.
and you're right. Choosing to not buy things for a whole 30 days is deprivation. However, something that people don't understand about deprivation is that it's actually a good thing, because when you decide to go without something for an extended amount of time, once you have it, you have this deep sense of appreciation for it. You have a deep sense of gratitude. If you choose to do the no spend January, in the short term, you will end up depriving yourself of some things. But in the long term, once you finish it, you will develop a deep sense of gratitude. For example, if you decide to not eat out for the entire month of January, on February 1st, when you eat out to celebrate, you might say to yourself, this is so nice. I don't have to cook. I don't have to clean. I'm so grateful for the ease of eating out. Whereas if you didn't do this challenge and you just ate out for lunch every day at work, you would take it for granted. When you deprive yourself, you end up developing a deep sense of gratitude. So don't view deprivation as a bad thing, as doing a no-spend challenge does involve some deprivation. 5, only use cash. Another way to make this challenge easier is for the entire month of January, do not buy anything with a card and instead buy everything with cash. And the reason is, when you spend money in cash, you end up spending less money because spending money in cash makes you more intentional when you buy stuff. For example, you have to physically get the cash from an ATM, pull it out of your wallet, count it, and physically hand it over, making the purchase seem more real. Whereas paying with a credit card is easy, it makes it feel as if you're not spending money. A no-spend January is all about being more intentional with your spending and creating better spending habits. And if you use cash and physically hand over the money whenever you buy something, you are being more intentional with your money, making the challenge a little bit easier. 6, focus on the small expenses. Now, what often sends people over their budget and forces them to take on debt is not always from their big expenses, but it comes from their little expenses. I mean, if you don't pay attention to the little expenses, they will become a big expense. For example, getting a cup of coffee every workday adds up to $110 a month. Eating out every workday adds up to $330 a month. And getting a soda at the gas station multiple times a week adds up to $60 a month. When you don't focus on the small expenses, they will very quickly add up to hundreds of dollars. And so when doing this no-spend challenge, don't just focus on your expenses over $20, but also focus on these smaller ones that, if left unchecked, can add up to hundreds of dollars over a month. Because you're probably spending a lot more on these small expenses than you think you are. 7, do a subscription reset. Now, speaking of small expenses that add up to a big expense, subscription services are often cheap, but they add up to a lot. I mean, if you subscribe to every streaming service, as many people do, it could add up to hundreds of dollars a month. And one great way to save money and cut out waste from your budget is doing a subscription reset, which is where you figure out all your subscription services, then cancel them all. And finally, when you want to use one, like watch Squid Game on Netflix, resubscribe to the service. You're resetting all of your subscription services that can help you cut out waste from your budget and can ultimately save you hundreds of dollars a month. 8, do the Pantry challenge. Another great way to save money while focusing on not buying anything is doing the Pantry challenge, which is where you focus on eating what's in your pantry before buying new things at the grocery store. And this might involve cooking weird meals like lima beans, cream corn chicken, and canned pears for dessert. We all have unused food in our pantry that just sits there month after month because we don't want to eat it and we keep buying new food. But this month is a great opportunity to do the pantry challenge and clean out your panties and save some money in the process. 9. Don't feel pressure to solve your life's problems in a month. Now, doing a no-spend January is not going to solve all your financial problems. I mean, chances are, no matter how extreme you go, you'll end the month with the same problems you had before. This challenge is not going to solve all your financial problems in one single month, but as I said before, it will help boost your savings. Break mindless spending habits, pay down debt, reduce stress, simplify your life, and develop gratitude. The point of doing this challenge, of spending 31 days buying only essential things, is so at the end of the challenge, you become more mindful of your spending habits and save a little bit of money in the process. So don't come in with the mindset that you are going to solve all your problems in one single month, and instead just focus on the little things. Focus on being more intentional in developing more mindful spending habits and ultimately save a little bit more money than you normally would have if you didn't do this challenge instead of just stressing out. And the final tip is don't be too extreme. Every new year, people create these goals for themselves, whether it's to save money, get fit, or read more, but then give up a couple weeks later. And the reason they give up so soon is because they take their goals to the extreme and give themselves unrealistic expectations, like cutting out all their spending, going to the gym 5 days a week, or reading a book a week. If you choose to do a no-spend January, don't take this idea to the extreme and set unrealistic expectations on yourself, and instead be realistic. For example, instead of not eating out, only eat out once a week. Instead of cutting out all subscriptions, keep one. And instead of only buying essential groceries, still get some of your favorite foods. If you set realistic expectations on yourself and don't take anything too far, you are more likely to finish the no-spend January successful and have some extra money saved at the end of the month, all that you can put on black. I'm just joking. But with that, Happy New Year. Muchas gracias. Que tenga un buen día. Nos vemos, chicos.